While Boozing. Here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I know.
Hey everybody, brand new podcast. Sorry for the 2-week delay. We had some horrendous scheduling issues and we're unable to get this episode out last week, so hope you enjoy it now. Maybe there's some pent-up demand. Today's awesome podcast is brought to you by our newest sponsor, Sudio. You want to check out Sudio.com. These guys are in the headphone business. If you're listening to this podcast, you might be listening on headphones. And Sudio wants to revolutionize the way people see headphones as not just a tech device, but also an accessory. Currently, the headphone markets offer you one of two things, either style or tech. Fashionable headphones tend to lack the proper sound quality, and high-tech variations are bulky, not design-oriented, and incredibly expensive. Sudio.com is here to bridge that gap. They emphasize modern Scandinavian design, and trust me, these things shipped all the way from Europe, and they also provide a product that matches the quality of even the highest-rated headphones on the market for a fraction of the cost. Not only is their cost amazing, but if you are a Musing While Boozing listener, we've actually procured you an additional 15% off. If you go to Sudio.com, Sudio.com. The link is in the show notes. And at checkout, put in the promo code BOOZING. You will get an additional 15% off. And don't worry, it's coming from Europe. You also get worldwide free shipping. I'm not kidding. 15% off and worldwide free shipping. Go to Sudio.com. We're currently rocking the Sudio Regents over-ear headsets right now, and I got to tell you, these things are incredible. So check them out, pick any product, use promo code BOOZING, and you'll be set up. Today's episode is brought to you, I haven't mentioned in a while, actually our Patreon account. We're sponsoring our own show, so why don't you check us out? And the reason we're bringing it up is because we've actually had a couple people check it out and, shout out to our patrons who are now sponsoring the show. We are so amazed that people are enjoying our product. The feedback we get has been incredible. So we want to continue moving on here. We're always upgrading our equipment, getting some incredible guests. The guest we had for next week's show is absolutely fantastic. You're going to love them. But yeah, check out our Patreon account. It's in the show notes. Thank you to all our amazing sponsors, and we're going to keep Musing While Boozing here for you. Today's show is pretty awesome. It's Mike and I. We got together, and it actually happened to be recorded the same day as the shootings at the Florida school. And we got pretty insightful is probably too much credit, but we had a great conversation. And the long and short of it, some of the things we hoped to see happen after this tragedy as a result of the social media coverage of it, I honestly believe we're starting to see it. I don't want to get into too many details because we covered a lot of it in the show, but even in the week and a half since the shooting, there has been the reaction that we thought there was a chance there might be. So we talk about that. We also hit upon our Musing While Boozing outing where we hit the couple of the local pubs and bars and the fallout from that trip, finding, of course, that we are not 20 years old. So tune in, chill out, relax, grab a drink. Everybody enjoy, and we'll talk to you next week.
Musing While Boozing, because the best thinking happens while drinking. Hot topics over cold drinks.
Cheers, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Here we are again.
Yeah, never ends.
Yeah.
It's good to be back here in studio here at Musing While Boozing. Brand new episode once again. Hope everything's doing well. Mike and I were just going over the news. We had a bit of a plan here for this evening, but first thing I'm going to talk about is, the shooting that just happened down in Florida today. The U.S. and their lack of gun laws, quite frankly. They say gun control. They don't have gun laws down there. But it's so easy to stand on the outside and judge, right? Because not that I don't think anybody can say our gun's good, but the guns are already out there. How do you fix the problem? Like people point out Australia, right? And they say, they got rid of all the gun stuff. Well, you're talking a country that is like 1/30th the size, and it's an island. It's easier to control. And so they actually did do a big collection in, I do not remember the year. It was the late 80s, early 90s. But there was Australia only had one school shooting. And after one school shooting, the Australian government said, Yeah, you can have like a hunting rifle that shoots 3 bullets.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And they actually went and collected every assault rifle in the country and smeltered it down. And I'm not getting the exact details right, but long story short, they got rid of the heavy duty guns in the country. And since then, their number of mass shootings is still standing at a firm 0.
That sounds pretty good.
Well, it sounds, but the thing is, in the U.S., there are more guns than there are people.
Yeah.
So you couldn't collect all those guns.
That's not realistic.
No,
right?
I mean, they're not coming from Canada, but you couldn't collect all those guns. You can't. You can't.
They could draw a line in the sand, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really, an assault rifle of... I like rifles, man. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But if you have an automatic rifle, that's only meant for one thing. Kill it.
No, really. I mean, honestly, yeah. Let's just take
You're
a
not
step
hunting.
back.
You're killing.
Yeah, I just so you either got to be good with that or not. And I mean, honestly, I think that decision has been made. We were talking about how the governor of Florida just tweeted that anything's on the table when it comes to laws after this, and of course, there was going to make a big bunch of noise. But the noise doesn't even lasts very long anymore.
A few days.
Yeah, the only thing that I think has a chance of catching people's attention is some of the videos we just watched, right? Because for the first time, what's different now? What's different about school shootings now versus 20 years ago?
Everybody has a device.
Everybody has a fucking device. We were just sitting there, and the video that is captured from this event today is heartbreaking, sickening, fascinating.
It's different when you hear it.
Yeah, you hear it, you see
the
it.
sounds.
You see the kids standing there, shaking, holding their hands in the air, holding their phones. You hear the cops, 2 things: put your hands in the air, and then the second thing the cop said was, put your phones away. So stop Snapchatting this shit. But seriously, you see the video of the kids walking past the dead bodies. You hear this, like you said, you hear the sounds.
Well, they're traumatized for life, too.
Yeah.
That's a...
But the kids have always been traumatized. I'm saying what I think is different, and that has, maybe it's going to be, maybe it's not even this time. Maybe, unfortunately, it's 15 times down the road, and maybe people can start making fucking VR videos. I don't know what it is, but anybody can now watch these videos and put themselves in that school today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you couldn't do that before. It's easy to stand afar and make laws and refer, guns don't kill people and whatever. But now to be able to just watch the videos and hear them and see what the kids saw, it's got to start turning popular opinion. Maybe it'll finally go over like the tipping point, sort of like smoking did, where it just became less cool and more laws came. I don't know. I have a little bit of hope. That could be true.
I think it's going to take 50 years or so.
When I say a little bit of hope, it's very little. I'm hoping that the advancements in technology and social media can maybe plant a seed because of the veracity of what people can see and hear that will take you into that moment that maybe the world will take a step in the right direction. Well, the U.S., Christ, they have more mass shootings than fucking communist countries.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe...
It's always come and gone, right? But
here it just keeps coming. I swear, because I think in the U.S. they call a mass shooting any incident where there is more than 4 people killed in one small period. Saw a tweet this afternoon, and again, I do not have the numbers to back this up, but it shouldn't be too hard to do the research. But I mean, we're how many days into the new year? It's like 48 days or something, and they've had 26 mass shootings in the U.S. where at least 4 people have died in one spot or whatever.
So is that more or less?
Well, I don't know more or less. I'm saying 48. Not even more coverage, just more dead people. Granted, you always have more people and more guns, so the odds are you will always have, even if the rate doesn't get any worse, you'll always have more people dying.
I guess it doesn't matter whether it was more coverage or not, right? It's happening.
It's happening. If you have if you're having an average of at least one incident of 4 people getting killed by guns every 2 days for a year,
that's troublesome.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. And now you want a gun to protect yourself. Because you see all this shit, right? It's
some governor or NRA or there was a statement that says this is why we need to arm the teachers. They won't buy teachers in the States fucking toner, or they won't buy them fucking erasers or markers. But they're gonna have a budget for guacs.
Oh yeah.
everybody gets a Glock, but you still got to buy your own fucking printer ink.
Training, that's your problem.
No, we'll just get
we just give you the device.
Yeah, and how many kids would get a hold of those guns? My God, now the crazy kids don't even have to smuggle into school. They just got to find the armory.
Biometrics.
You go in there, I can pick up a dodgeball, or I can pick up an AK. It's all sitting right here. It's right beside the pennies. Blue team, red team.
Go.
Jim,
I thought it was fake.
Fucked up. No, I don't know if there can be an answer. I think everyone would have to rally together, and maybe the videos and the crap that comes out of incidents like this now, with everybody being goddamn wired. I mean, we're just 2 minutes away from everybody having Google Glass and looking around.
Here's the thing. Back 20 years ago, when war was, more of a reality.
20 years ago, it was only
20. Okay, 50 years ago.
I mean, that's like 20 years ago.
When war was
like 1997, man.
Okay, I'm sorry. Dates are a little.
We were doing the exact same thing we were right now.
But I think there was more respect for guns because of people saw it firsthand, and they trained their kids. It wasn't a toy. It was
it wasn't so easy to get. You couldn't just walk. I mean, now with today's kids, you can go sell like fucking 2 dime bags of meth and turn around another corner in Detroit, and 10 minutes later have yourself set up with an AK-47. And you're like, there we go. That for $500, I just got myself an assault rifle.
That's the most common gun in the world.
Yeah.
AK-47
because it doesn't break.
Cheap ammo.
The guy
fairly reliable.
And the guy that invented it hates himself. Like Kalishnikov was his name.
Does he?
Yeah, Russian guy. He said it's the biggest mistake he ever made. And he won some sort of award. I think I have to Google this. For some reason, I think he won a Nobel Prize for building the gun. And then now it's just totally got perverted in any way.
Well, yeah, because it's a mass killer and a sniper in the same. But
it works underwater. It works while it's dirty. It works while it's full of sand.
It does jam though when it gets hot.
Well, according to the movies, anyways. Well, you can hold one in both hands. And
I've had the pleasure of firing a AK-47 at a few targets, and it does jam when it gets hot.
I mean,
it's cheap.
I think some people just refuse to admit that, like these gun nuts in the U.S., you don't want someone to take your guns, just fucking because you like shooting guns. There's nothing wrong with saying you like shooting guns, but
I like shooting.
Yeah, you like shooting guns. Great. Okay, awesome.
You have a controlled environment where you do that, right?
But do you have to shoot that gun?
Well,
can't you just shoot a bang gun instead of because like today we heard the shots, like bang, 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 bang. If he had to bang.
Oh yeah,
bang.
Yeah.
Maybe there's 10 more kids alive today. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I didn't show up tonight planning to talk about guns, but
that's the difference in Canada, right?
Yeah,
you can't have those.
No,
it's unfortunate. I wish they had them at the shooting ranges as a option, but you can't have them
you have
anywhere.
As an option, that means they're in here legally, which means someone can get them, which means someone can buy them, which means someone takes them to Oak Park High School and blow somebody up.
Well, and then you go on the other side, and it's more of responsibility and consequence, and
I completely agree on the responsibility part. There's no but.
You can't blame guns. Don't kill people. People kill people.
That's right. But guns really help. Stupid people kill a lot of people. What I think is you should have gun training and people because I'm a big fan of hunting, and Wendy's always laughing with me that I want to start hunting, and I have no problems with guns as a tool, but every tool serves a purpose.
Oh, yes.
And a hunting rifle has a purpose. It's to go hunting. An AK-47 has a purpose. It's to mow down human beings.
It's to kill, yeah.
So only have the tools that are available to hunt.
Which Canada does.
Yeah, exactly. And how many school shootings do we have a year? In theory, we should have at least 1/10 of them because we're 1/10 the size of the U.S. So stats speak for themselves, but we don't. I mean, we have one every, I don't know when the last one in Canada was.
Well, that's the problem with the gun registry back in the day, right? If you remember that boondoggle. The intent was great, but the application was brutal.
Yeah.
It's not the rifle hunters that are causing a problem.
No. And the thing is, in Canada, we, again, don't really have a problem because we just decide as a society that these guns can't be here. Now, don't get me wrong, in Toronto, in Vancouver, I'm sure you can probably pay a lot more money you can in the U.S., but someone can probably get you one of these goddamn things. And more power to you. But for the U.S. to sit back and have these big, fat, white Republican lawmakers sit back and say, well, there's really no point in legislating this stuff. I'm like...
they should be doing a little bit.
You're right to bear arms, then you know what?
You're right, but then you don't need that kind of arm.
You can have a 7-shot Glock in your whatever, and yeah, you can still do all the damage, but it's sure... Like, look at those people in Vegas that got mowed down.
And what, 3 weeks later they had a gun convention?
Yeah, and they say, like, gun... Another term that gets me is, like, gun collectors. Like, if you're collecting them for the aesthetic, then I guess maybe... Well, I don't know. Then they should be, like, disabled or something. Like, but if you're collecting active... You're basically... That's being saying if I want to be like a nuclear arms collector, or like. Well,
in Canada, you're not allowed. You are allowed to collect, but they're after a certain number of weapons. I think it's around the 12 threshold. You are considered an armory, and that's a different set of rules.
Well, yeah, and the rules are move to another country.
Well, it's you're now on the radar. Yeah. You are a potential. Problem.
I don't know. And it's not that I don't think those people, because honestly, none of these people have ever been like gun collectors or something like that. They just usually, again, this kid had an Instagram account that was probably, it was full of like him dressed like a gangster and I want to shoot motherfuckers up and what have you. And, idiot. What I find fascinating, and it's going to be, this one will still lose a little longer, is because you know what? The kid didn't commit suicide by police. I don't know if his plan fucked up. I want to find out, but he didn't get killed. They caught him.
Oh, they caught him.
They caught him. They have pictures of him down on the ground. They have him in custody. So now you have the under 18-year-old that has mowed down 17 people in the U.S. in crazy Florida. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen here. I don't know. They won't fry him, I don't think. He's under 18.
Well, and if you actually look at this, maybe it's not about guns at all. Maybe it's about society being angry. Maybe it's something bigger than just guns.
Well, I think there is although I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think there is an issue with people getting angry and stuff, but I don't think that takes away from the fact that people are getting angry in every country, and every other country got rid of the guns so people don't shoot each other up. If you want to get really angry and pissed off and run with a crossbow, I'll take my chances. Like, I will take my chances. You want to go...
How come Europe never... do you ever hear any gun incidents?
You can't buy...
I mean, you hear bombs, but... Not really guns.
The only... There's like 3 countries in the world that have like the type of gun environment the U.S. does, and like 2 in Africa and like the U.S. And then there's just no regulation in parts of South America like Colombia and stuff like that, and which is just a war zone. But I like to say a civilized country, it's just the U.S. It's just the U.S. that has this gun culture. This don't take away my guns, and it's because...
That's my right, yeah.
Well, it's money.
Oh, for
all
sure.
the major gun manufacturers are made in the U.S. Remember, how can we have offshored...
Just like smoking.
How can we have offshored every business in the world except gun business? Yeah, you know why? Because the gun companies in the U.S. making a shitload of money.
They sure are.
So yeah, they make their money, and they fucking just... It's just money. Guys going to bed tonight that sold the gun to kill those kids, like, yeah, well, hey, we sold 87,000 more of those. And why do you need to sell 87,000 more of whatever the fuck you used to shoot them with fingerprint-resistant grips?
There's been...
what the hell does that mean?
There's been a number of movies that, The Art of War, that kind of tackle... Well, they don't tackle, but they bring up the issue of the gun industry, right?
Yeah, it's an industry. It's really... I think that's one of the problems, is we allow an industry like that to be an industry. And I just... maybe I think there's a correlation between this and smoking, and only in the fact that maybe it'll start to head in that southern direction where just because of the visuals it becomes uncool. I don't know. You always have your nuts. It'll take you like years and years, but you know that smoking corner turned in the 80s into the 90s or whatever. It took like 15 years. Maybe over the next 15 years it'll just become where it's just not worth the risk.
Well, again, if you look at the hunting trends, they're way down.
Yeah. Well,
Now, there's less places to hunt. I'll give you that.
there's less animals. We killed most of them.
Well, no, it's up and down. But I mean,
Did you hear about that lion?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, God, that was so awesome.
Poetic justice.
Yes.
I don't agree with the whole trophy hunting thing.
No,
that really annoys me.
I am.
If you're gonna hunt, you better be hunting to eat and enjoy.
I am a meatitarian through and through.
Me too.
And I don't see the.
But
point.
you don't hunt just to get a rack on your.
No.
It's nice to have.
Well,
for
a
some
rack.
people,
If you
right?
want, okay.
I personally don't want dead shit on my wall, but
no, fuck.
I do like to eat meat, and I like the different types.
Yeah, I have no problems knowing where meat comes from. I like meat. I can shoot something and eat it.
I like knowing I can do it.
I would love to have like elk and stuff and good meat at home and be able to get that home and know you harvest yourself, and that's fine. And if you keep a trophy of that where you have a fucking deer skin throat,
but you didn't shoot it just for that.
Exactly.
You used everything about the animal.
So
which is what hunting is all about.
Our occasional listener out there that might not know what we're referring to in terms of the lion, I don't have the details in front of me, but I read it. I think it came out yesterday. And the long story boring is a hunter was in Africa doing some trophy hunting where they try to justify it. Oh, he paid the money, and they try to.
Lion.
They follow the lion, and they're trying to single out. In other cases, I can't say this case, but where they have scouts that pick out like the older guys, and this is the one you're going to shoot. But in any case, this guy was out by himself, and he was following a pride of lions, and well. All they found?
Things went south.
And they just found his head. Everything else had been eaten. And I love the fact that it's not in the country where, say in the U.S. where it was a dog that distance, of course we have to go put the dog down. No, that lion is out there going, burp, motherfucker. Shoot me.
Was it I assume it was a female lioness.
I don't know.
Probably. The guy wanted the male, but
I want to see that movie. I want to just see him turn the corner, and all of a sudden, like, he's got his beat on one line, and the buddy lion comes from the right-hand side, and as he turns, feels the claw, and his gun jams, and all he's thinking was, oh, I could be at home watching Netflix.
Yes, my life
for you. And yeah, so in the, they're not going to win the war, but they won that battle, and my props to the Lions that took down the goddamn trophy hunter. But yeah, I don't get that. I don't know why people. And then in today's social media, I think it was it the founder of Papa John's or one of
Papa John?
No, Papa. No, it was another pizza joint though. Little Caesars guy, Little Caesars company. Hoping not spreading bullshit here, but it was a CEO of a major pizza chain in the U.S. that again just released. And he had shot some goddamn elephant or something, and I'm like, seriously, dude, or a giraffe. And
really?
Yeah. I'll just do.
You better Google that because we don't want to be spreading rumors.
No.
I mean, we're pretty good at spreading rumors, but I mean, that kind of shit, we want to be real.
Little.
Yeah. Like I say, I mean, I'm all for. I'm a pretend hunter because it's been a while since I actually killed anything, but. If you're going to use that animal to its full extent as much as you can, I have no problem with that. If you're going to kill those things and mass wipe them out, or there's a problem there, right? Like, you're not hunting for a tribe anymore. You're not hunting because you need that to stay alive. You're
not a tribe. Tribe. You feed your family. I don't care. I'm in complete agreement. I don't understand why people need to go out there and shoot something to prove that you had a vicious weapon and the animal didn't, and you killed it from
there's rules that govern fair sport, right? Which is why you're not supposed to be able to, for example, ride in a vehicle and chase an animal down and shoot it. That's not fair. That's not fair to the animal. That's not fair. That's not a real. But again, if you go back to it, it's I don't know. I know lots of people that hunt outside of season, but they they take a deer every few months, right? And they take it and they use it and they eat it and then they will get another one.
Sorry, it was not Little Caesars. It was the Jimmy John's, a sandwich company in the U.S. And he's the got to show him like a picture here, but he's the target of anti-hunters.
Oh fuck!
You got a picture of him standing beside this great big
is that annoying?
Dead elephant, because there's like
you're not eating an elephant.
No. There's 4,000. Well, I mean, dead elephant, leopard.
Did you know that China just outlawed ivory?
Oh, finally.
Yeah.
They've had it open for...
it's been open for...
1 billion people there. I mean, look, this guy's shot everything.
Fuck.
He's killed a rhino, killed an elephant, killed a cheetah.
Like, why?
Just so he can say he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like these animals were attacking. It's not like he saved his family. He had to go to where they live to go there. And we sound like a bunch of fucking nature huggers here, but it just...
I do love nature, man. Even though I'm a killer of nature, I actually love...
I respect it.
I love animals. I love... Like, fuck, because nothing pisses me off more.
I don't want Ryland's kids to grow up and not know about... Because, when we grew up and you heard about animals going extinct like the dodo like years ago, I don't want our kids to grow up and, their kids to not know all these animals that we knew, like elephants and... Like, just the idea that elephants and tigers and whatever and rhinos. Speaking of, this is awesome.
It's just sick, man. That's somebody trying to exert fucking power over a beast that they didn't. It's unfair. It's just.
Yeah.
It's just. It's just, you know what? And I know I sound a little bit of an idealist here, right? But like, it's angry. I don't like to see that.
Well, we will never be sponsored by the NRA here at that Musing While Boozing, so screw them.
I'll take a gun from them for free, but I ain't gonna shoot it.
Another clip of no more than 6 bullets. Talking about big game elf, I was talking with Wendy last night, 2 nights ago, trying to talk to her about this because I read the article. It was fascinating. Actually, I think this is bullshit. I think she fell asleep beside me, and I wanted to talk to her, and she was already asleep, so I just finished reading the article. What happened was that the rhinoceros only live in, I guess there was the Asian rhino, so they live on 2 continents. But right now, did you know, since about the 1970s, they live in 3, and that there is a growing, small but growing population of rhinos.
Is it protected?
Not really. It's in Colombia. And how did African rhinos get to Colombia? Well, let me tell you and our listeners a story.
Yes.
In 1977, the 8th richest man in the world was the Colombian drug lord Pablo Escobar.
Yes.
At his peak, he was making $480 million a week.
Yes.
And was responsible for 80% of the 80% of all cocaine sales in the world.
Yes.
Went into his pocket. He was losing upwards of $3 billion a year. That's billion with a B.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah, 3 billion. On rats eating his money. Because he couldn't process it fast enough.
Yeah.
They actually, he employed people to watch over his money stash to stop the animals from eating it. Anyways, this guy was making $480 million a week. He's making $1 billion every 2 weeks. He, of course, when you got this money, you gotta spend it.
Well, yeah.
So, and he also liked to do things to make the people villagers, of course. You want to stay protected, no one's going to turn you in, make the people love you.
Yes.
So he built many things around his compound, including a zoo. And I forget the name of his
and just a side note, like for what I know of him, this whole give back to the people, it was genuine.
Mm-hmm.
He might have been a sick bastard and angry and all that stuff.
He'd tell you to kill your dad, and you wouldn't think twice about it.
Yeah, but he did some good things for that country, right?
I mean, it's hard not
to... He gave back.
It's hard not to do good.
He was like a modern-day Robin Hood. Yes. Come on.
It's hard not to do good if you got to spend $1 billion because someone's getting that money.
Well, you don't see that in the States, though. Yeah. You don't see a pharmaceutical giving back or solving this or, Instead, they jack the price up on a heart medication.
Actually, a painkiller today just went up by $3,000 instead of $100.
Exactly.
Anyways, so
he wouldn't have done that.
So Pablo Escobar imported a bunch of exotic animals, including a combination of some males and females. I think it was 2 females and 4 males, or vice versa. of African rhinos to Colombia in a zoo. But then eventually the government turned the tide. He went into jail. He actually built a jail with his own money because I'm not going to your jail. He went to his own jail. He escaped from that jail. He won the run. They finally they took him down and they confiscated his land. His family fought over it. And so they came and they took a lot of their animals and sent them to other zoos. Thing is, people keep forgetting that... I'm saying rhinos. Sorry, I'm sorry. Hippopotamuses.
The hippo.
Hippo are actually so incredibly dangerous. What they did is they just left the land. They've confiscated it. They opened up the stuff because there's stuff for them to eat and everything. They just let the hippos live there. Well, fast forward, and they started breeding. And they estimate now the population can be anywhere between 80 and 120 of these African hippos. There's no natural predator. Yeah. It's the tropical climate they like. They love water, and this place was built. There was he made 16 man-made lakes. Yes. This is how much land he owned there. So the hippos are thriving there, and they're growing and having babies and thriving. And the people report they see them walk through town because I guess the government has castrated some, let them go. They didn't kill them. They catch them, they castrate them, they send them on the way. They haven't got them all, and they're still increasing. So they're trying to keep the population in check. But now there actually is a legitimate population of African rhinoceroses, hippos, in Colombia. Due to
are they going to start shipping them, or
if you ever want to, any of our listeners want to Google this, Google drug hippos.
Drug hippo.
It'll come up. Was a documentary called Cocaine Hippos or Drug Hippos or something to do with drugs and the word hippo, due to the fact that this is now the thriving ecosystem where he's generated a population of hippos that are now living on the other side of the world and developing their own hippo world in Colombia and probably eating cocaine. Oh.
Did you know that hippos, God, they're a glorious beast. They actually will spit out feces and urine to they'll spew it out at you to mark their territory.
No, I did not.
Yes,
no, I wish I didn't.
Not only are they the most violent animal probably on the earth.
Well, no, but they're I think one of the most dangerous mammals. They kill upwards of 3,000 people a year. It almost always happens in water. Because they can almost snap you in half in water or whatever. And they're omnivores. They will eat anything. Oh, yeah. So they don't hunt you down, but they just get close to them. And they have incredibly protective, violent tendencies.
Yes.
So,
they are protective.
Yeah, so it was over 3,000. It was more than snakes and something else combined that these things kill. It's insane how many people were as kids you never... And I saw... We saw hippos at the only time I've seen them live... in person, because the only zoo that has them I know of, we went to the St. Louis Zoo with Wendy's work. I went to St. Louis for Wendy's work. So I took a day and went to the world famous St. Louis Zoo, which is one of the 2 best zoos in the world apparently, between that and San Diego. And we went in there, and they made this big, it's like the polar bear enclosure here, but it's all water, and watching the hippos, and they're very graceful in the water. They get around so easy in the water. They're incredible swimmers. They're swimming around and yawning with their big fucking teeth, with their massive molars. Yeah. And they seem really lazy, but looking at them, you didn't think they were dangerous. But
Calgary has a hippo tank.
Yeah,
I had a feeling they had one there.
I don't think Winnipeg does. Winnipeg doesn't have hippos. No, we have polar bears. That's where all our money is. We don't.
Calgary is probably the closest thing you're going to get to any kind of real zoo here.
San Diego was St. Louis was cool. Everything was free there. Their zoo was free, their park was free, and if you did go to attraction, it was super cheap. I found that city absolutely fascinating. I'd like to go back and explore it a little more. There was a lot of cool things going on. So, hey everyone, you're listening to this podcast. You might even be listening to using some headphones.
You might need some.
Yeah.
Old, used, tattered, dead battery.
Well, if you need new headphones, here at Musing While Boozing, we're here to hook you up. Please check out the cutting-edge company, Studio, at www.studio.com, and you will see an amazing lineup of products. Yeah, we're rocking them here in the studio. These things look great, but more importantly, they sound even better. They're incredibly reasonably priced, and you know what? With the price, we can help you out.
Oh yeah, we got a promo code for you.
Yeah, go to studio.com, pick out whatever you like, and then upon checkout, type in the word Musing for the promo code, and you'll get 15% off and worldwide free shipping. These things show up from Europe to your house in 5 days, and you will not be disappointed. That's Studio.com, promo code Boozing.
Boozing.
Check it out. Cheers! Yeah, no, what I did wanted to go over, because I need you to help me fill in some blanks, is that we on the music...
Hippopotamus?
No,
hippos. I like hippos.
The Musing While Boozing crew went out on Saturday of this last week to celebrate as we roll through nearing the end of season 1. We haven't quite picked a definitive date of when the end of season 1 will be here. With sponsor commitments and stuff like that, we may be looking at probably episode 28 possibly, but we'll keep it posted on the website. We'll make sure there's lots of events notice where we'll be putting in a bit of a break there. But anyway, so we were out. There was myself and Mike, Eli, who's been on the show a couple of times, is definitely coming back.
Good old Eli.
And Wendy, who just keeps teasing you with her appearance and postponing her appearance, and we'll have that vision therapy episode coming. So we went out to a local Winnipeg establishment, and we started our evening because we had some gift tickets to kill. And I remember that part.
I like the food at the Pint.
Yeah, the Pint was good. Shout out to the Pint. It was a good time. And then we, after blowing our gift certificates there and having loading up the hopper, and then we went across the street to a hotel.
The Garrick.
The Garrick, thanks, Mike.
Yes.
I definitely remember the Garrick.
I love the Garrick.
I know we actually put up a bunch of Musing While Boozing stickers at the Garrick.
It's nothing better than a dank pit.
Oh, that is one hell of a bar there.
There's probably ghosts up in that hotel, I'm pretty sure.
For our listeners that
we
don't
never
know,
made it up there.
The Garrick is a turn of the century, the last century hotel. Really old, a lot of vintage, a lot of character. You can't imagine how many beers have been drank in that place. And we hung out there for a bit.
It was Jaeger shooter night.
Oh God, yes, this is where things went sideways. So then we had a bunch of Jaeger shots and what have you, and we were waiting for the bar next door to open up because we are, of course, a very inclusive environment here at Musing While Boozing. And so that night we partied at, what's the name of the place we went to? Fame. What's Fame?
Fame is a alternative bar.
Oh, no, alternative. Alternative is disrespectful because it's not alternative. It's just a bar that caters to the LGBTQ.
I don't know that stuff.
There's a lot of letters.
I don't really know that stuff.
We didn't really care. It doesn't matter.
I just know it has a basement with a bunch of lights. So.
Mike and I took our party to Fame nightclub, and then somewhere after we got there, I know we got there and we got settled. It wasn't that we were one of the first ones in the place. I think we were the first ones to the bar. I think.
Yeah.
And
yes, we were.
And here's where
heaters, as they say.
I'm gonna have to rely on Mike to fill in some blanks here because soon after we got to Fame, and I don't know why I wasn't keeping track, but the drinks were flying. We played pool. And that's a key point in my conversation because something happened while we were playing pool there. But we played pool. And
we lost. Yes, we lost the game. It was not good.
Couldn't tell you for $1,000 we were playing. We were just playing Cheryl and Eli?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Or Eli and Wendy. Cheryl was there at Pint, too, right? She was there in the beginning. And she safely left our company. And then as we rolled from the Garrick and went to Fame... And I'm using this podcast, and I apologize. I'm using it to try and fill in some blanks because I got to tell you, I don't have not holes in my memory like this going on 20 years. But we got to Fame. I distinctly remember it would have been it opened at 10.
Yeah.
So we got there shortly after 10 o'clock. We played pool. We were making numerous trips to the bar. I remember the bathroom. There was a bathroom attendant there. And then I remember finishing pool, and then I got nothing.
Oh.
I don't know.
Well, we drank some more.
I saw pictures of you dancing the next day, and
we danced a lot. You didn't dance, but we danced.
Well, where was I if I wasn't dancing?
I don't know where you went there. I was...
I remember... All I remember... Talk about blackout memories. I just remember stumbling around the dance floor, trying to find you and Eli.
I was dancing with a unicorn.
Felt like I was looking for you guys for days. And then...
Yeah. I was dancing with a unicorn for probably, I don't know, it felt like an hour.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't remember a single face. I don't remember anybody dancing. I don't remember. I think we had some more drinks, but at that point my body...
Oh yeah, we did.
My body, I'm sure, was near to be shutting down. And then I don't know if maybe Wendy found me and took one look at me and said...
You're out?
You need to go home. At that point, I did realize that I was missing one of my cell phones. But I was in no shape to even walk to go and find it. And then...
I took a look.
You took a look at it.
Eli and I went and partied.
Yeah, you guys partied. Wendy took me home. I was blurping the whole way home. I couldn't puke, but I just burp and spittle would fly out of my mouth. And then I woke up. Oh, and then I got home, and I thought the idea I was going to try and call my personal phone from my work phone, and had blacked out about the password on my work phone. So I did it so many times, my work phone actually reset for security because it had a corporate security on there. Someone looked like trying to hack it. So I woke up to my work phone being completely blanked out, needed to be reset up and reconnected to the server. And my personal phone spent the next 2 days safely encased using Google Find My Phone, just sitting on the couch beside the pool table at Fame the entire time.
Yes.
I did manage to put a lock on it the next morning, or it must have been the next morning. I wasn't doing anything that night. And then the lock... Hey, good job, Google. The lock message, the lady picked up the phone, and I had put click here. They clicked the button. It rang my work phone because I had got up and running by then. And she called me, and I was over there and picked it up.
Yeah, it was a glorious night.
Oh, yes, it was absolutely glorious. But I hadn't been hurting that bad the next day well, I don't know. That might have been the worst hangover ever because now I'm older, and I never got bad hangovers in the bad. I used to get up, feel a little bit bad. I never puked the next day, and if I ate something, I was usually good. That night I could throw up, but the next day I was usually okay. I'd be fine. This one I woke up, I made it 2 steps to the bathroom, and just yellow bile came out. Yes, it was.
Well, you didn't need anything when you got
I couldn't even.
You never stopped at
I don't disrespect to say I didn't throw up, but nothing came out of me except yellow bile.
You didn't eat your nuggets.
No, and then I sipped on water. And then Wendy offered me breakfast. Was nothing. I took some gravel. I lied down for a bit. We watched a couple episodes. We actually binge watched some TV. That was nice. Watched the rest of Dirk Gently.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and then when no more. And then we. I didn't think I had any. I wasn't right until like 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. I finally stood up in the kitchen. Never felt like when I stood up at that point that like my life was draining out of my stomach and I wasn't going to throw up anymore. And then got my shit together, started cooking some stuff, and then went to bed at like 11 or something, and then the next day it was fine. But
yeah, I was all good with the Jaeger shots.
Yeah,
that was good. I like Jaegers. So.
Oh, me too. I love them. I loved going down. That was. I left the Garrick feeling great, but I don't want to know because I know I was drinking doubles at.
I'd go back to the Garrick.
Oh yeah, I go back to all these places again.
It's so cheap.
I go back to Fame. I remember everything about it. I had no problems with it. I don't remember anything there. I remember playing pool. Then I blacked out.
Oh yes.
I do remember walking. I remember it felt like my Fitbit said I had like 12,000 steps. I was walking around the dance floor. It felt like it was the size of like an acre. Like that I was walking around.
Walking forever.
And I would have loved to see the video because I'm sure I would have been just that stumbling, gawking drunk. Like, what?
I wonder if you were on the stage.
Oh, I didn't know there was a stage. I don't remember anything. I remember it was loud music, flashing lights. I don't think my eyes were working. I really couldn't see. And I was just stumbling around. And I would love to see the security footage. Because I must have just been like...
Yeah, it was a good time.
Near... And then I don't know if someone... I don't know why it was time to go home. And then I'm like, we got to have home. Like, we forgot Mike and Eli. And he's like, I didn't forget them. How'd you guys get home? Must take a cab?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't really remember.
Like, did Eli cab here? Were you guys in the same cab? Did you go
we were in the same cab. I just don't really remember the ride home. But I got here.
You got here. I'm just wondering, then did Eli just convince the cabbie to keep going home? Like,
I don't know. Maybe I thought it was an Uber. Who knows? I already paid you. What are you talking about?
That's right. I'm out. Oh, I went to the Uber orientation night here in Winnipeg. And, listened to them and talked to them, got some information. At the next stage, if I wanted to be an Uber driver part-time to try around with it, is the fact that I got to get my driver's abstract, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to pass Uber's requirements. MPI's got it tight.
Oh, they don't care. They want your money.
Yeah.
You're going to pay for,
No, MPI, that Uber, it says you can't have, I think it's any more than 2 infractions over 10 years.
Really?
Yeah. Because that was the agreement they made with MPI about only allowing like highly insurable people to get whatever cut rate they're trying to negotiate with MPI to make it economically feasible.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know who's going to be able to drive.
Yeah.
Although I guess maybe everybody in the world except me has a clean driver's abstract, because, I don't. 10 years is a long time, man. I feel like...
Yeah,
I feel like I have more tickets.
Yeah.
I know I've got a lot of FODAR tickets. Reminds me, I got to pay once my bag. I really got to get that paid.
Does that count?
No, because FODAR can't pay each person. But I had one failure to completely stop at a stop sign that would be against me. And then before that, just when I was with 7-Eleven, that's 2010, 7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there, I was in a couple of accidents. Or just sliding on icy roads already because I was driving around in Winnipeg every day because of goddamn being a field consultant.
Yeah.
And I know like those would be on my record, so I think, well, it must be because my driver's license cost me a small fortune. So
Been there, done that.
Yeah, I'm slowly working my way down, but it doesn't seem to really be going down that quickly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No,
it'll be interesting to see.
Based on my driver's license, how much it costs, I'm pretty sure Uber would be like, yeah, I'd say, but I need the job to pay for the driver's license. So, I really don't know if they're gonna buy that. So, I guess I'm just stuck doing taxes here, and entering my first season of tax season, and shout out to H&R Block, great company so far. I'm enjoying it. I like being busy, and let me tell you, it's busy. I've learned a lot about the business, so it's gonna be really interesting. How things go in your world?
Same old. That's why I party all the time, because gotta have some kind of excitement in your life, right?
You worked a lot of overtime last week, though.
Yeah, it is tough when I'm old. It's tough.
It is. I'm finding, I'm really feeling my age. Like this last couple of weeks, I've had to work, I don't know, during the week, like 3, 4, this week, a couple, 5, 6, like 8 or 9 days of like 12, 16-hour days or whatever. More closer to 12 than 16. There was a couple of days.
Yeah, it's not the same as it used to be.
And no, I got it by the end of the week, and then...
Doesn't matter how much you eat, doesn't matter how much you sleep.
Oh, you don't eat. You just stop eating.
Oh, yeah.
I'm having these beers tonight, but, dinner tonight consisted of, I got home... Wendy got home right behind me. She quickly fried up 2 eggs and threw them on 2 pieces of toast. We each ate them, and then she went out the door.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I had like 4 more chocolate peanuts after that, and that was it. That's all. I don't eat anything else. I'm just
a lot of meats and cheeses, garlic sausage. That's yeah.
I haven't been doing that. I gotta. I'm wet. This weather is. I haven't used my smoker in like forever. I am so ready to be able to go outside. I am so excited about having the pool this year.
Yeah.
I want to get back outside. I have some goals for our backyard. I have some goals for what I do. We do some podcasts out by the pool.
We got an exciting season 2.
Yeah, season 2. We got a few awesome guests here lined up to finish off season 1. We're looking at this will be episode 24, based on the new sponsor, which you hear about during today's episode, being Studio. I know we got a commercial in there, but check out studio.com. Use the promo code boozing and get yourself an awesome pair of fucking headphones. These things are incredible. Crystal clear, solidly built. They look great and sound even better. So...
that's definitely good quality for what you pay.
Oh, yeah, and we get 15% off and free worldwide shipping, being a customer with Musing While Boozing. So check them out. But we got some great guests coming up in the near future here that we've confirmed up. Things are looking good. Other than that, I think we're a wrap here tonight.
Yeah, we're a wrap. Season 1 maybe could be over.
No, I just told you, we got 4 more episodes.
What 4 episodes? Shit, we're wrapping her up here.
I was trying to cash out. No, we got interesting guy coming next week, and I got to nail down exact dates for another 3 or 4 guys, and then that'll be the end of season 1, and we will get ready for season 2. So thanks for tuning in, folks. The numbers keep growing, so hang in there. Everybody keep musing while boozing.
Musing while boozing.
Yeah, hang in there. Cheers, everyone. Take care.
This has been an MKCast production.